Hello everyone, this is Terry. Today is November the 15th, 2012. I'm doing my 1 year update report. Yeah, it has been a year. I started last November 1st. So now actually it's more than a year. It's 1 year and 15 days. So let's see. I wanted to talk about two things. The first thing, I just go over the changes. Compared to last month, not much really different. Hair growth is one thing that continues consistently every single month. So yeah, more hairy right now. And also another thing is my voice. My voice still cracks after whole year. Still cracks. But it's uh, more stabilized than before, so it fluctuates less right now than before. This is pretty much my voice, but I just noticed that for the past maybe 2 to 3 weeks, something like that, it just dropped a little bit. So, but other than those two things, really not much else is going on. Of course, compared to before, like when I first started, of course, lots of changes. Certainly, my face is bulkier or wider right now, um, and more muscular, and just in general, like growth down there and things like that. Not nothing too out of ordinary that most trans men go through in their first year or two, something like that. So that's basically the changes. Um, the second thing I want to talk about is my testosterone level. It has been going over the place for this past year. So for those of you who hasn't really watched my vlogs before, like I said, I started my transition last November on 2% cream for the first 2 months. Then I got a test. At that point, my testosterone level was 184, so my doctor raised the cream from 2 to 5%. And then I got another test like around April. So after 4 months on 5% cream, my testosterone level was at 436, and that was pretty good. So everybody was happy. My doctor was happy as well, and so I stayed put on 5%. But uh, June and July roll around, and my testosterone level, well, actually, before I get a test in July, I went back to my doctor because my period returned. My period stopped um, in March, but it returned in June and July, so I was a little bit concerned. Even though it was not a full blown period, it was more spotting, but still, I went back to my doctor, and then we got another blood test in July, and my testosterone level was at 263, so it dropped about 200 points. So my doctor said, well, okay, then we can raise your cream to from 5% to 7%. I said, cool, okay. So and it happened during that time. I also switched to a new pharmacy, and let me tell you, people do things differently, and I guess you know you can react differently to different formulas. That's what I'm saying. So anyway, so I fill my 7% prescription with this new pharmacy, and so after using my cream for 5%, I started at 7% like in August. So after a month, by the end of September, I went back to my doctor just to find out if the 7% has helped me to raise my testosterone level from 263 to at least like 500, something like that. Well, it did. Not only it did too much. Actually, my testosterone level in my blood in July, not in July, I'm sorry, at the end of August, at the end of September, sorry, at the end of September was 2008. That was off the chart, and my doctor asked me to stop the cream altogether. She said that's too high. So stop the cream for 2 weeks and then go back onto the cream, but at the reduced dosage, actually half of 7%, which is 3.5%. So basically, the whole month of pretty much October and the first part of November, I stopped the cream for 2 weeks and then was on 3.5% for the past 2 to 3 weeks, something like that. And another blood test about a week ago. Well, actually 2 weeks. So and I just got the result today, and my testosterone level was back all the way down to 361. So it certainly was a roller coaster. I mean, 263 to 2008 and back down to 361. So I don't know what to make of my testosterone level at this point. Either my body is that sensitive, or I believe the 2008 that test, that result, that score was not right. Something wrong. They messed it up. The lab. So I talked to my doctor, and she said, well, yeah, 261. Yeah, it's within normal range, but I think it's a little bit on the lower side. So she said, okay, let's raise your percentage to 5%. So now I'm back to 5% as of beginning of this year, but of course with a different pharmacy and probably a little bit different formula. Not formula, but the mixture, the cream. So I guess we shall see what happened to my testosterone level, like next month or like beginning of next year. Like I'm getting a little frustrated because I thought like after the first year I should be pretty, my doses should be pretty stabilized. Like, should be able already have like an ongoing, pretty much a set, ongoing thing, and not like right now. I'm still trying to figure out a correct dosage for my body. So it has been frustrating. But I guess I I don't know. Maybe my body is just that sensitive. I mean, it raised so fast and it can drop so fast too, and so much. Because at 361, it's very close to the July test, which was at what, 263. Yeah. So but anyway, so I guess we shall see. Other than that, my body is doing pretty good, because the blood test also other things in addition to just the testosterone level, like liver, kidney function, my cholesterol, the blood panel, the whole spiel basically. And my doctor was saying, your body's fine, so that's the good news, So at least the fluctuation of my testosterone does not really like, really did some like serious damage or something to my body. But anyway, and another thing I want to mention is that the doctor right now, the doctor I talked to today, is my third doctor. Like, it's even, well, within this past year, that's what I'm saying, that she's my third doctor. And not that I've changed, but they left the clinic. I'm a client. I'm a client. So yeah, my first doctor left in June, and then my second doctor just left like the end of last month or something like that. So now I'm at my third doctor, and I have to say that I really like my second doctor. She was really nice, and I feel like she really cared. And this current one, I think is the worst. Like, I talked to her on the phone. She just seems really impatient and kind of like I just feel like she, doesn't really care much, and she has no idea about cream. I guess she was prescribed shot, So today I talked to her and the thing is, it bugs me that when she called me today and she said, "Oh, I leave you those, like your prescription for you and things like that. Oh, your testosterone level is within the normal range. It's okay." Like she just doesn't even want to talk to me about oh, how it, what's the level right now and what I think, and then when I tell her about, well, what's the percentage, she's like, what do you mean? I said, well, what's the percentage? You say you're leaving me a prescription, new prescription. What's the percentage of the cream? She said, cream? I say, yeah, cream. My testosterone cream. She said, oh, you're on the cream. I was like, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, so you're not on shots. I was like, have you read my chart? I mean, you were going to write a prescription for me, a new prescription for me, he didn't even bother to look at the chart. I mean, if you look at the chart, you see my prescription is in the cream form. So, I'm just kind of like, I'm thinking about I should look for a new clinic, a new doctor, because that's just like, that for me is like bad news, because either she didn't even bother to look at my chart, or she should look at it and she didn't, didn't know what she was looking at, because the prescription is clearly in the percentage of the cream, and and I think the shots they're like different thing, right? So I mean, but even that she shouldn't even just even mess up like that. Just assume that, oh, this is like for the shots. I mean, it just tells me one thing, like either one, she didn't even bother to look at my chart, just like, oh, just give her like, give him like a normal, a dosage for like everybody else. Like she didn't bother to look at my chart, or just kind of like really scan through. I mean, really scan through and just didn't even pay attention. So I needless to say, I'm happy about this new doctor, and so I'm thinking that I probably will look for a new one. So, but anyway, yeah. So other than that, my life is okay. Uh, and okay, so that's pretty much what I want to talk about. Okay, thanks, guys. See you guys later. Bye.